Cuffs are off, man.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focus Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
And you know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I
What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and this is our Week 4 Active and Inactive Sunday show. I'm going to be going over some of the news and notes since our Friday show, give you guys some good updates on the Dublin, Ireland game, Vikings versus Steelers, which is currently at the half. And then as well, we're going to be going over actives and inactives at 11:30. So I'll be able to answer all your last second start sit questions as we go on, leading up to game time at 1 o'clock. But, you know, of course, I'm not going to be here till 1. I got to get it going after that or before that. But please make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. I'll be getting to them shortly. First, we're going to do a quick little breakdown of all the news and notes to let you guys know of some players that were questionable that are expected to play. Now, remember, just be aware, Adam Schefter did say about Jaylen Warren on Saturday morning or afternoon or whatever, that Jaylen Warren was supposed to be expected to play and was inactive. Don't always believe what they tell you. I don't want to say that they are, know everything, but in this case, he was wrong. They're bound to be wrong once in a while. But at the end of the day, they tried it out in pregame. These pregame thing, like when they get ready for pregame, they could tweak something, do something. So nothing is ever expected at this point. Just any guy that I tell you that is expected to play, you should have some type of backup or something in place just in case. You never know, especially with what just happened. I was able to have Gainwell on my team prior, and I was able to play Gainwell over Warren, and so far doing well since he got a touchdown early in the game. So first and foremost, we got Isaiah Likely, who he missed his first 3 games of the season with a foot injury. He is listed as questionable. He is expected to play today and make his season debut against the Chiefs later on this afternoon. Bill Krosky-Merritt, he's listed as questionable for Sunday due to a knee injury. He's expected to play versus the Falcons as per Schefter. Devontae Adams, he's listed as questionable for Sunday as well with a hamstring injury. He's expected to play. Remember, he did not practice much all week. I think he only practiced limited on Friday. They said that Adams looked good moving around during Friday's practice. So I don't sense any major restrictions being placed on him, but the Rams will be smart with him, however, as one source says, and that's per Jeremy Fowler. So just be aware. Like I said, every situation is different, but even when they say they're expected to play, it doesn't mean they're going to be playing the whole game. Just be aware. Both wide receivers listed as questionable for the 49ers, Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings. They are both expected to play Sunday, but Jennings also is likely to be limited as per Schefter. So he will, he'll probably start, but he will be very limited. He didn't practice until, Friday, limited. He has been doing that the last couple of weeks. Ricky Pearsall was pretty confident on Wednesday, said he was pretty good. It was just, soreness that he was just trying to get over. That's fine. Chuba Hubbard, he has a calf injury and standout. T-Mac, good old Tatoria McMillan, both have calf injuries. Both should be good to go per Carolina. Both are listed as questionable. DeAndre Swift is expected to play on Sunday, while Colston Loveland is a long shot to play. They did bring up a tight end from the practice squad, so that can just kind of tell you. Usually you can tell what teams are doing based on what practice squad guys they bring up. We saw this with Jalen Warren. They brought up Trey Sherman because of the fact that they weren't sure what they wanted to do and what was going to happen. So they wanted to be ready, even if, but of course that didn't happen. So just be aware of those little tiny things when you're, trying to make decisions for your lineup. Baker Mayfield, he's expected to play today with his right bicep injury. Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs are both listed as questionable, and all three are looking good to go. This is huge news for the Bucs, who have been missing out with Tristan Wirfs. He is one of the best left tackles in the game. Chris Godwin coming back from his horrible ankle injury. He'll be playing today. They say Chris Godwin will play and start and play a lot, which is fantastic. I'm glad that he's coming back and glad that we're able to have him on the field this week. So that's all my news and notes for you guys. Nothing crazy. Looks like everybody is going good. Follow Rob Thomas, man. What's going on, man? Great to have you back. He goes, morning, gang. Sit one in full PPR. Adunze, Hills, and Pickens, or Hill and Pickens. Out of this group, it's gross. Adunze is staying in for me all day. It's weird that we're having the conversation about Hill and Pickens in any shape, way, or form. Both of them are just god awful. I have Pickens and Hill ranked one on top of the other at 15 and 16, so both are viable options in my opinion. I'm not a fan of Pickens. I think Dak's going to be running for his life in a lot of the scenarios. Yes, that could get Pickens involved early, but they do like using Jake Ferguson a little bit more and, using the tight ends a little bit more than that. I'm going to use Tyreek Hill here and sit Pickens if you're giving me this list. It just makes more sense to me. I feel more comfortable with a guy like Hill, even though he hasn't been the best the last few weeks. Going against the Jets, favorable pass rush, good defense. I feel a lot better about his scenario than someone like Pickens. I can't. It's yeah. And they're in Miami. I feel a little better about that when they're home. Patrick, what's going on, brother? He goes, yo, what up? Damn, I grabbed Gainwell in all three of my leagues, started him in two of them, started him over Swift in one of them, but other league chose Chubb over him. Okay. Give a shout out to Will, my brother in law, as we cook some meatballs for Sunday dinner. Hey, man, of course, my friend. Hope you guys enjoy your good, fun Sunday dinner. I miss those sometimes. Miss the good old Italian Sunday dinners. All right, let's get your question. He goes, okay, so Chris Olave or Pittman and Purdy or May. It's Olave for me. Heavily involved. Kellen Moore is trying to get him more involved. He's getting at least 11 catches per, 11 targets per game, I believe. Hold on, let me give you the real number because I want to make sure I'm correct here. Always like giving you guys correct information, not some, fake stuff. Yeah, he's had at least, what is that? 10, 13. Yeah, 10. He's had 13, 10, and 14 the last few weeks, averaging 12 targets a game. You can't not do that. His catch rate is a little low just because of the quarterback. He's got 23 receptions from 37 total targets. So, I mean, that's not a horrible catch rate. He just hasn't gotten touchdowns yet. I'm playing Olave regardless. It's just not – I don't feel comfortable in the other matchup right now. Where is he? Pittman going against the Rams. Yeah, Rams are actually a really good defense this year, playing real well. I'm just going to stick to Olave, much better with his metric, what he's going to need to do today. So I'm going to go with him. Sam Trigg, what's going on, brother? Great to have you here. He goes, pick one full PPR, Debo or Jacoby. That's a good one. I think I'm going to go with Jacoby. I feel a lot I feel comfortable against the Bears, both with Jalen Johnson is out today. Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick. I forgot to do your Purdy or May. I'm gonna go Drake May. Feel comfortable within the last few weeks with Purdy coming back from injury, could be re-aggravated. Jags are a formidable pass defense in general. Both New England and him are favored, so I'm not going down that route. But I'm still gonna go with Drake. I just feel like he has a better situation. He's been playing better. Yes, Purdy has better weapons overall. I just feel more comfortable. And, at this point, May has better legs to, get the ball and has some rushing upside. They're just kicking off the second half of the doubling game. The Minnesota Vikings are getting the ball. So just letting you guys be aware of that. So Sam, Debo or Jacoby? I just want to go Jacoby. Jalen Johnson is out today. Who would normally be covering him? He's going to be going against Stevenson. On top of all that, he's been one of the better receivers the last few weeks. He's up there like with Chris Olave in that regard. He's been getting, what is this? He had one game with 4 targets. That's okay. He's got 10, 12, 4 targets, 17 catches total out of the 26. That's a decent catch rate for him. He's heavily involved. I know Bowers has been hurt, but I think they're going to continue to keep him involved. Debo, I don't mind. It's just the Mariota effect scares me a little bit. Yeah, they'll use him in the run game. I'm just not. I personally am not comfortable with him. I've never really been that comfortable with Debo, but he had 3 rushes for 18 last week, and he had 2 catches for 11. Mariota, to me, it's scary because Mariota is not a big pass. Like he's no longer a big passer. So all the numbers are kind of capped when it comes to to any pass catcher on the Commanders, even if he is the number 1. Everything seems limited. And it's, he only passed for, I think, 179 yards last week. Or no, 207 yards. He had 15 completions out of the 21 that, they're just leaning on the run game to keep Mariota healthy. I'm just not willing to go down that road. Gino has been playing way better. And I feel more comfortable with Jacoby Myers in this set. So make sure you guys, if you have questions, throw them out. I know today is going to be kind of limited just because of the game being on. I know a lot of people are going to be watching the game over coming to watch me, which is completely okay. I'm watching the game as I'm watching, as I'm talking to you guys. So, it's completely understandable. Just letting you guys, this is your time. So make sure you guys throw your questions if you have any. It's okay if you don't. I'm just going to be kind of here until at least 12 o'clock just to kind of get you guys through the actives and inactives and, be able to help you with your questions. So I'm here for you guys, whatever you need. Just ask those questions. I don't even care if you ask me normal questions. Ask me anything, the AMA. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date. Vikings did 3 and out going back to the Steelers. Steelers have been playing real well, 14-6. Got a big touchdown by DK Metcalf in the beginning. I think it was like a 80-yard touchdown. It was a really nice play overall. I think he got up to like 21.5 miles an hour. Like he was cruising. Gainwell got the second touchdown after, getting the ball right down to the one. They gave it to him and he got it in. So really good game so far for the Steelers offense. Steelers defense really keeping on Carson Wentz. Not much else on the Viking side other than Justin Jefferson finally getting involved. We haven't seen that in the last few weeks. But at this point, it's not, it's good to see him getting more open. He's had 8 targets, 8 receptions for 97 yards, which is huge. Jordan Addison finally getting, his start, 2 for 27 on the day, 3 targets in that, time frame. So he's getting involved. Wentz has been very good today. Very good overall, even if they're losing 17-21. both him and Rodgers have been pretty good up until now. They were almost at one point they were pitching a no hitter, they were throwing a perfect game, if you will. So Lario goes, you think was good not starting Gainwell over Chubb? I would have probably done Gainwell over Chubb. But that's just me. I don't have a ton of Chubb in a lot of my other leagues. Tennessee is okay against the run. They've usually been pretty good in the past with Justin Simmons. This year, they are. Wow. So then they're 30th against running backs. So it's not a horrible move. I'm not saying that. Texans has just they've been having a rough time getting the ball moving down the field. They haven't been able to get Nico Collins going. It's so hard to, it's so hard for me to be upset with, well, not be upset with. Right now, it's tough to see that they can't get over, what is it? They couldn't get over. Yeah, they haven't gotten over 14 or 19 points, I think it is, all season. That's not going to help them throughout the year. Being 0-3, they put up 9, they put up 19 and 10. It's kind of like the Giants. If they don't put up a ton of points, they're not going to be able to score. And on top of that, they're not going to be able to, they're not able to run the ball effectively, because if they're down most of the time, they're not going to be able to run the ball. This is a division game. They tend to do better at home. I feel a little more comfortable, but, I'm still a little wary about Chubb long-term. Gainwell has shown that in the past, even when he was in Philly, he was the number 2, but he's one of those guys that can do very well, put in given the opportunity, and this is the rare opportunity he'll have. And, I played him on a whim just because I didn't really have much behind him, and I preferred him over a lot of the guys that I had. So I'm not saying it was a bad idea, but I think that Chubb, if you weren't able to play him, I wouldn't stress too much, but I would lower expectations. I got a ton of Chubb. I always love his name. Always gives me a good laugh. Good old Perry Williams. What's up, man? He goes, yo, Mike, excited for Dart today? Start Troy Franklin or Pacheco. Really excited about Dart today. It's going to be an interesting, game to watch tonight. I got all my Giants fans in here, which is fantastic. Really excited for Dart today. It's going to, they play a lot of zone. I watched John Gruden today or the other day, and he was, saying how much they just play zone. This is probably a good situation for them. No, Khalil Mack, scaring the crap out of them. They do still have a decent pass rush, but I think he'll be able to, handle this situation a lot better than most. So I'm pretty happy with the scenario. Troy Franklin or Pacheco. I'm assuming this is full PPR. If it's full PPR, I feel a lot better about Troy Franklin. Marvin Mims was on the injury report early. I think, that's going to get Troy a little bit more involved. Pacheco hasn't shown anything. It's just, it's a fall from grace. It's sad. I think I'm gonna probably go with Troy here. And honestly, if I'm that low on the totem pole with people, I mean, why not take the upside over the guy that's going to be a little bit more conservative? Ray goes, Mike, pick 2, Chuba Hubbard, Lad McConkey, and JMO. Full PPR. I'm gonna go Lad. I'm gonna be comfortable with Lad today. Let me see about I can't go JMO. They're going to be up. They're going to run the ball. It's going to be a big, heavy run game. I just feel more comfortable in those waters. They're going to want to keep the pass rush off the field with Myles Garrett in general. Chuba going against the Patriots. Patriots are currently, I think they're pretty high up there, if I remember correct. Where are they? Patriots middle of the road, 15th against running back. Yeah, I'm gonna go Chuba and Lad. I think those are the stronger picks for me. JMO, he's been involved, but he hasn't been doing what I wish he could be doing. The games are it's just not the same. He gets that big dump here and there. He's a boomer bust in a lot of scenarios. He's at 5, 4, and 3 when it comes to targets. 8 catches off those 12 targets, 1 touchdown. I like Chuba just a little more. He's a little more conservative lad going against the Giants. Just a better situation for him. He'll be in the slot. Yeah, he'll be going against Drew Phillips, who's been doing very well in the slot. But I do think that lad can have a good day today. Perry goes flex 1. Pittman, Sutton, Chase Brown, Coleman, Juwan. Ew, are we really at this point? That's gross. Chase Brown usually would be my choice here. If it's full PPR, I'd probably go Chase, and he's the conservative. Like, for me, it's a conservative call, but it's against the Broncos, so I get why you're kind of yeah. I might go Sutton. Sutton was heavily more, he was more involved last week. They noticed that they needed to, so I think they need to involve him more. The Coleman and Juwan, it's so hard to play a tight end over all these guys, even though he's been playing real well. Coleman, I'm just not there yet, really. I like him, but I can't trust him week to week. It's more of a run heavy type team. This game, I believe they're favored by 14.5 right now. So I doubt they're going to throw the ball a ton. The Chase Brown, man, it's between Chase Brown and Sutton to me. Pittman out there, I don't mind either, but Pittman going against the Rams. Witherspoon's been doing well. I'm going to stick with Sutton here. It's sad. I really like Chase Brown at the beginning of the year. Ray goes also pick 2, J-Mo or Trey Tucker or Wan'Dale. Interesting. These are all 3 names I like. Wan'Dale, I'm probably going to keep out of this conversation. Big miss. Wentz just had a decent throw to the outside. It just couldn't get it. Addison couldn't get it. J-Mo and Trey Tucker they're essentially the same person to me. 48 point over under for the Raiders Bears game at Las Vegas. They're favored by 1.5. Means closer game. I'm gonna go Trey Tucker. They're gonna have to utilize him more just to keep in the game. J-Mo, they could be up by 2 touchdowns by the half, and all they're gonna do is just run it with Gibbs and Monty, and keep things going that way. Wan'Dale, I hope he is involved a lot more today. But we'll have to see about that. Giants are underdogs by 6, 43 point over under. I just like the Raiders scenario a little better based on the numbers, and I probably have Trey ranked a little bit higher in this situation. Let me see. Well, no, probably not, because I don't like Trey Tucker, so I keep him low. Wan'Dale I have at 40. Trey Tucker I have at 50. That's not, for wide receiver 4s, it's they're both the same for me. But Trey Tucker has more upside, more down the field stuff. He's involved in the punting and kicking and all that fun stuff. I'm gonna go Trey Tucker. Perry flexing 1. Ridley, Ertz, Coleman, BTJ. I think this is a week you can play BTJ. No one's happy with it. He's dealing with a wrist injury. He's been underperforming. It's hard for me to tell you to play them over other guys. Oh no, actually, you know what? Maybe Ridley. I'd probably play Ridley over him. Just Ridley, regardless of his scenario, which I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Cam Ward. I never liked him out of college. I never liked his particular scenario, but 8, 6, and 7 with targets currently, and on top of that, at least has 8 catches out of those 21. So bad catch rate. It just means a bad quarterback getting him the ball. I think I'm going to go Ridley. It's just he's more involved in the game. Ertz, I'm not going to play a tight end over these guys. Coleman, I'm not sure about. It's really between Ridley and BTJ, and I think BTJ is more talented more talented than Ridley, but unfortunately, it's hard to tell. They're going to be down. They're underdog by 3.5. The game has a decent over and on, over under in this game. Yeah, maybe I'll go. Maybe Perry, you always give me some really good ones, and I keep going back and forth. I keep talking myself into one and then the other. I'm gonna go BTJ then. Better quarterback. They got to get him involved, right? Like they have to at this point. They have to get him more involved. I'm gonna go BTJ. J Money goes, what up? Full PPR, Trey Tucker or Hunter Henry as my second flex. Gross. I already have Ferguson in my tight end spot. Should I go 12? Hey, man, I'm never going to tell you to go 12 unless, you have like really good options. Hunter Henry is tight end 2 on the year after week 4. That's pretty good. I'm probably going to tell you Trey Tucker. It's really just, like I already said before, 48 point over under, it's only they have it as almost a pick 'em. If that's the case, they're going to be going back and forth. It could be a shootout, and I feel more comfortable in Trey Tucker doing that. The game against the Panthers for New England, they're going to be up, based on they're being favored by 5.5. So, yeah, it's hard for me to tell you to play 2 tight ends, man. I have a hard time doing it in one of my leagues, and I have Hunter, I have Sam Laporta, I have Trey, McBride on those teams, and I can't play 12 personnel. Could I if I want to? Yeah, but I just don't want to have to put myself in that boat. So, did I have Chase Brown in 3 of 4? Hey, man, it's so hard for me to not tell you to play a guy like Chase Brown. It's just that line is dog shit. On top of that, they're loading the box, and it's gotten to a point where you can't play him. It's hard to play him because of that. Teams just shut down Higgins and Chase, and then you have no choice but to run, and then they just shut the run down because you're not not that good of a passer. So, oh, Ray, why do you do this to me? Why? All right. I'll give the numbers because I have to. It's Jones. It's Daniel Jones. It's you have to. At this point, it's the better play. Oh, that was a really good. Oh, he fumbled that. How did he fumble that? Oh, geez. That was a really interesting play. For those that are watching the game, holy shit. That was interesting. Wentz got blitzed out on the free safety blitz and then ended up dodging one guy by kind of like letting him fly over him, but still fumbled the ball. Oh, man. He had Heidelberg go over the top, or no, some other guy going over the top. Then the other guy that missed him on the ground gets up, gets him around the ribs, and then knocks the ball out. He's not feeling great in that. You can tell that he's wincing and not feeling absolutely just got sacked again, and he definitely does not feel good right there. Looks like he got hurt. Oh, boy. This is going to be a long day for the Vikings, I'm telling you. Team looks real good right now. But yeah, Ray, we're going Danny Jones. It's so hard to go Danny Jones, but I have to. I have to do it. The game against the Rams, 49 point over under. They're not favored in this game, which, means they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit more. It's in a dome, so I feel a lot more comfortable in that scenario as well. It's not the tiebreaker, but they've just been on a hot streak. You want to be able to, intercepted by good old TJ Watt. Man, TJ just got that tip ball. He swatted it and then just caught that thing right in the air. Holy shit. That was a great play by TJ Watt, man. Really great play. Wow. Holy shit. I gotta watch. I'm waiting for them to play the replay. Oh, Cameron Hayward gets the swat, puts it right into JJ Watt's hand or TJ Watt's hands, and he walked it down the field. Oh man, that sucks. All right. So Riders, what's going on, man? He goes, I know this seems like a silly question, but how do you feel about Jamar Chase? Keep him in and hope they turn it around and play guys like Golden or Williams. If you're gonna do that, it's Jameson Williams. You're not gonna play Golden yet. It's just not. There's no world that I can tell you to play Chase Brown or Jamar Chase over Matthew Golden. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I understand they're not playing well, but I can't tell you to do it with a guy like Matthew Golden. I feel comfortable with Jamar Chase. I just have to lower my expectations. You can't, like, I have to give him a ceremonial downgrade in my rankings. Like, I don't view him as a wide receiver 1 anymore. He's more of a high end 2. And it's really just because of Jake Browning. Can Jake Browning sustain him? No, it's not. He doesn't have the ceiling. His ceiling is capped just by the quarterback change. But that doesn't mean but his floor is better than all of them. So I feel a lot more comfortable with Jamar Chase. You just have to lower your expectations when it comes to him. He's a talented wide receiver. He will do his best to get open. Yes, this is against the Broncos. I understand everybody's concern because he's going to be going against Patrick Surtain, and that means it's going to be a little bit of a rougher day. So I get that. I understand why you're thinking that. Jameson Williams, like I said before, going against Cleveland. Cleveland has a good pass rush. I think they're going to avoid trying to get Jared Goff hurt and not have him as be involved in the passing game too much, or they could be doing the complete opposite and try to throw the Browns off and I don't know make Myles Garrett tired. Who knows? I'm not gonna sit Chase over these guys. It's just not gonna happen. If you had like a Neighbors or which how would you, unless you have a trade or this was dynasty, if I had anybody in the wide receiver 2 realm, I would, but Jameis, he's not even in that conversation for me. His floor is too low, and Jamar is too high. I'm going Jamar Chase. So Ray goes, so I messed up on 1, so pick 2: Lad, Mbuka, or Chuba. Okay, this is a much better scenario. I don't mind Mbuka today. Today is if you're going to play him, he's going to be probably number 2. I think they're going to try to focus a little bit more on Chris Godwin. Thankfully, if Godwin's out there, he'll take the better coverage. So that's good. Okay, so we're getting some actives and inactives. They just started rolling through. Sorry, I'm don't mean to cut you off, but I'm probably gonna go Lad, and this is full. So Lad and Mbuka, I'd feel okay with here. Sorry, just getting a ton of notifications now that I've finally turned on my stuff and have everything good. Christian Gonzalez is starting today for the first time. Good for him, making his season debut against Carolina. So just be mindful of that. Baker, Chris Godwin, and Tristan Wirfs are all active. Bill Krosky-Merritt, he's active. Derek Stingley's active. Interesting. So yeah, you're not playing Ridley there. Let's see. AJ Tyrell is inactive today. That's going to be interesting for the Falcons game. Adoree Jackson's inactive. Okay. No one outside the normal seems to be inactive. Everyone seems to be going. Jack Conklin's inactive for the Browns. Another reason why I'm a lot more comfortable with with that game being a little bit out of hand later on. Mike Evans is inactive. We already knew that. Jaden Daniels is inactive. We already knew that. Terry McLaurin's inactive. All right. Everything seems to be status quo at this point. So, yeah, we're good to go on that front. All right. Any others that come through, I'll let you guys know. Lad and Mbuka here, there, Ray. I like it. I think Mbuka can be very good in this situation. Warrior, what's going on, man? I got the whole Giants crew here. Oh, this is fantastic. Steelers are in the red zone. Gainwell is on the 3. Just got a big run for about 7-8 yards. He looks real good today. Knocking on the door. Hopefully they hand it to him again. That'd be fantastic. At least be fantastic for my team. They basically got the ball real quick, real early right here. And yeah, that's a good 7-yard run right there. Ray goes, I'm going against DK. Yay. Hey, man, I bet everybody's saying that right now. DK's having a day. I'm assuming he just, I don't know if he just scored, but let's see what happens here. And Gainwell gets 2. Gainwell with 2 TDs. Very nice. Gainwell with another TD. Doing very well today overall. So, unfortunately, Patrick, if you're still watching, it was a bad idea. Got to say it now after the fact. Warrior goes start Pickens versus the Packers or Debo versus the Falcons. I'm probably going to go Debo versus the Packers. Versus the Falcons. I like Debo just a smidge better than Pickens. I've never been a fan of Pickens in general. Now that he has the lead role for this particular group, I just can't feel comfortable. And honestly, I think the Packers are going to they will be making the Cowboys their bitch. You make a bad move, bad things will happen. Right? Warrior goes Colts kicker. Nice. So Shane Shador, I know who you're talking about, versus the Rams in the Dome, or Ravens kicker versus Kansas City. I feel that Kansas City has the Mars number. I'm going to go with the Colts kicker, who is the number 1 ranked kicker currently. They get the ball down the field. They at least get past the 50. They're competent. That's what you need. A good kicker is a kicker that can kick more than 40 yards, that is accurate at kicking more than 40 yards, and can hit those 50-yarders every so often with a team that can move the ball down the field to the offensive side of the ball and in their territory. I want it to, or out of their territory into the opposing team's territory. I'm going with the Colts kicker, Shane. He's the better option. Riders goes, I had Godwin too, but scared to play him for the first game back. Yeah, I don't blame you for being scared. I probably wouldn't do it if I had him. I don't really have a ton of him. I had Mbuka over him in a lot of scenarios for the price that I was paying. Mbuka was just cheaper at the time. For me, I rather have Mbuka just because he's the second option. I think they're gonna try to smother Godwin a little bit, and I don't think people fully understand. He had 2 setbacks. I think he had 1 or 2 setbacks in his coming back to the field. He should have been back already. They said he looks good in camp. He's been doing well in practice. He's been, actively involved the last few weeks. So it's not like, they're not going to play him unless they're ready. So he should be okay. But these injuries, man, Dak wasn't the same after he got, his ankle done like that. A few of the other guys weren't that good after the fact. Even Tony Pollard took a minute for his injury to get back on track. This isn't one of the, this is a little bit more, this is a lot worse than some of the scenarios. I understand not wanting to do it. I probably wouldn't this week. I would probably wait. I would definitely wait. But it's good that you have them. At least you have, a solid, hopefully a solid wide receiver 2 moving forward. Warrior goes, I'm going against DK, but he's on my bench. He's on the bench. Oh my God, someone benched him? Oh my Lord. Warrior, good luck, man. He goes, thanks, bud. You are the best. I'll try to give you guys my best advice possible. Kints, what's going on, man? Great. Kinks. That's fine. I'm really bad with names unless you're John Sewer Smith. Brees Hall versus Miami or Junkins versus Detroit. I think I'm going to go with Brees Hall, and it's really a lot to do with Justin Fields coming back. Justin Fields opens things up for Breece Hall more than people realized. The RPO RPO is one of the biggest things that helps Breece, where, if Justin Fields is, teams have to adjust to those scenarios. They're currently they're currently underdogs by 2.5, but that's a close enough game for me. 2.5. Anytime you see that type of line, it's almost close to a pick 'em. Anything less than 3 is pretty much a pick 'em. And in my eyes, I think he can be more utilized. Junkins has been a lot better as of late. They get him more involved. They've, started to show him a little bit more, just getting him more involved in general. I'm just not fully comfortable with his scenario versus the Lions. Their Lions are favored by 10. I mean, they're going to have to either run the ball to keep their offense off the field, or they're going to have to do something out of the ordinary. 2 catches. What is this? 5 targets and 4 catches, which isn't bad. Good, good percentage. Flacco does check down, so I'm not, I understand the reasoning. I prefer Breece over Junkins, in my opinion. We'll just, like I said, we have to see how things go moving forward. But for today, I like that scenario just a smidge more. Miami is also 24th against the run. I like that a little bit better than the Lions, who are currently 11th against the run. Defense-wise, their defense can't stop the run comparatively. Miami-wise. Oh, man. Well, Jalen Ramsey is not faking his hamstring injury. The karma train came back to get Jalen Ramsey, man. Because for those that weren't watching the Dublin game, there was a play in the beginning where Jordan Mason fumbled the ball but touched it while being out of bounds, which makes it his ball. But at the moment, Jalen Ramsey picked up the ball, ran it into the end zone for a fumble recovery and a touchdown. While doing that, he faked a hamstring injury and did the gritty. And in this case, it didn't work out well, because now he just pulled up going against Addison and really does have a hamstring injury. So this is why we do not showboat. I tell people all the time, man, you can't showboat like that. You wait till the very end, and then you say something, you get all your, emotion out at the end. Keep it all on the field. Otherwise, you never know what's going to happen in those moments. And, having that type of scenario happen sucks. He'll be out for the next 4 weeks just because of that stupidity. Dumb. Steelers getting the ball back. Vikings went 3 and out. They're having a rough time. Vikings had a decent start. They were getting the ball around, but their line can't handle the Steelers right now. I believe Carson was sacked. I mean, he's got to be sacked like 5 times already. He's been put to the ground by the Steelers. Where is it? Let's see. Let's look at the box here. Yeah, he's got 6 sacks already, against them. Ugh, gross. Rodgers has a good rating, 132. Nice. Good for him. Perry goes, first one this year. Kicker question. Sly or Schrader? The Colts kicker. We're going to go with the Colts kicker. Just stick with what's been working for you. Sly, as much as I think Sly has a decent foot going against the Patriots. I get it. I like Schrader a lot better. He's just a better kicker overall. So I'm gonna go with Schrader, whatever his name is. Shane. I'll just call him Shane because I know his first name, Shane. So yeah, let's go Shane. In a dome too against the Rams. Higher point total, 49.5, which means they're going to be involved or, kicking a lot of field goals from, decent area. I ended up in some of my leagues that I had situations where, I have like Kymiri Fairbairn, who is a fantastic kicker, long ball kicker. He only missed, I think, 1 at 50 some odd. But I had a lot of leagues where I had the ability to pick up. I was able to have my guy in my RR spot and then bring in a guy like him just for the week. And I'm going to see how it turns out and work it out and make it work. So I like it currently. And I like him a lot better than I like a lot of scenarios. I'm surprised he's still available. Number 1 kicker overall. So can't go wrong with the number 1 kicker overall when, your team has been playing the way that they have. They only had 1 punt in 4 games, or 2 punts in 4 games, I think it is. Or Spencer. His name is Spencer. My apologies. Schrader. Yeah, Spencer Schrader. Sorry, Spencer. Did not mean to get your name wrong. Like I said, it is what it is. But right now, let's look at his numbers. 16, 18, 11. I like that. Finished 1, 3, and 10. He hasn't finished outside that. All right. Looks like they're getting Caleb Johnson a little bit more run now that they're up 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns. Just trying to get him a little bit more room. 21-6 Steelers are winning right now. They're at roughly midfield at the 46-yard line, it looks like. And now they're giving Caleb Johnson the ball a little bit after they gave Gainwell 2 touchdowns. So thank you, the Steelers. Appreciate it. Really do. At least for this week. We'll see what you do next week there, Arthur Smith. Right now, for Spencer, he ended up getting he hasn't had a 50-yard touchdown, but he has a 50-yard kick, but he's done well with all the other ones. So it is what it is. Make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat if you haven't already. Make sure if you have any questions, throw them in. Make sure you guys also check out Underdog Fantasy as well. Use promo code GETRIGHT, and they will give you a play 5, get 50 in bonus funds. This is for new customers only. So make sure you guys check that out. I don't have the gimme pick that they give you. I only have the one from last week. But you play 5, you get 5, or you get 50. So make sure you guys are registering using the promo code GETRIGHT, and they will help you out with that as well. Also, for those that are new to the channel, make sure you guys are checking out our affiliate podcasts as well. Make sure you guys are checking out Phil at the Extra Point, as well as Kendall at the Fantasy Football Tavern. I know I still Tycoon's taking a little bit of a hiatus this year, but check out his stuff. He's always around. He's always in our chat. But make sure you check out the other 2 as well. Kendall's been a little bit more focused on Get Right at the moment, trying to help us improve our particular brand and help us with just general everyday things that we do. Really been a huge help. I know he's listening because he always listens to me on the way home from church. So hi guys, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a good day, good morning at church. Also check out the Sweet Life podcast with Cody and Zach. They're on roughly every Saturday or so. So keep an eye out for them as well. Always great to have great people in here and being able to help them have a platform. Also, for those that need it, check out TrophySmack.com. If you haven't already, they got this wonderful ring that you can make your own. We did that for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We also have their favorite belts. This is probably one of their best sellers on top of their customized trophies and their Kirk Cousins chains. They also have the football helmet. Love the helmet idea. Me and my friends made our own helmet. It was really cool. I loved their concept of what they did, and I kind of made it my own where I could customize it a little bit. I don't think you can customize yet, but I was able to get a beat up helmet. Not a beat up helmet, a nice-ish helmet that was used, put some stickers on it, and made it my own. So really enjoy their stuff, but make sure you guys check out Trophy Smack. Ooh, good little RPO there, getting DK the ball. DK's having a day, man. Whew, good for him. Good to see them and using him a little more. Wasn't really high on him, but glad that he is doing better. Make sure you guys are throwing those questions in the chat if you haven't already. I'm just going to be giving you guys some updates on the game. Maybe go until maybe go for another couple minutes. I don't, like I said, I'm here for you guys. I don't want to just keep talking your ear off and get, spewing out nonsense. Currently on the 33 going into the Vikings territory. Getting the ball out. Nice catch by Kenneth Gainwell, who, oh no, that's Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin does not look happy. Means he could be hurt. That sucks. Really like Calvin Austin, man. Really solid player. Looks like his chest. Something with his chest. He was pointing to his chest or his shoulder. Something happened there. That stinks. I really like Austin. Really solid route runner, fast, smaller guy. That means Roman Wilson will be a little bit more involved moving forward. He might be someone to target next week. They still got Caleb Johnson in, which is nice, getting him a little bit more involved. I know a lot of people were a little disappointed in his situation, being drafted but then not used, which, I completely get. So Gainwell having a day, man. 2 rushing touchdowns, 4 catches, 21 yards. That way, 11 rushes for 57 yards. Doing very well on the ground for the Steelers today against Minnesota. Thinking of now that scenario. So just be aware of that. So yeah, make sure you guys are throwing those questions in so that I can answer your questions if you have any. I understand, like I said, a lot of people are watching the game today, so part of why we'll probably be wrapping up a little bit earlier than normal, just because I'm not going to sit here and talk your ear off and have nothing to talk about. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show if you haven't already. Always need those likes from you guys. I got 9 in here watching. Make sure all 9 of you, and make sure you guys are hitting that like button at the end. Warrior goes, should I pick up Corum as a stash? I got Kyron. I have no problem with people doing that. It's based on your particular team. A lot of time, a lot of scenarios, you're gonna have that one guy that doesn't matter. It's not bad to have the backup to it's not bad to have the handcuff. But I would be okay with that because that he would be heavily involved. God forbid something happens. It's always just good to have that handcuff. I know a guy in my league, he'll grab like somebody at the 1 o'clock game that's like the backup for somebody. So he'll grab like who's at 1 o'clock? He'll grab like Tyler Algier at 1 o'clock, wait until the game gets through most of it. Then he'll drop for Blake Corum, pick him up at the 4 o'clock window, and then pick up Miles Sanders at the 8 o'clock window, and then grab, I don't know, like Beatty at the Monday night game or something like that. So I'm all for it. It's just it's a fun way to do it if you're, looking to do that. But yeah, I do it. Kyle Singer, what's going on, man? Great to have you here today. He goes full PPR, Shakir, Godwin, Dobbs, pick 2. So you're leaning right now. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Much appreciated. He goes leaning Dobbs and Godwin. Yeah, I'm just going to say yes. I do agree. Shakir, it's just tough to give you a reason to play Shakir. 40, the 14.5 point. Their Bills are favored by 14.5 points. They're favored by a lot. They're favored by 2 touchdowns. 48 point over under, which means it looks like this is going to be a heavy Bills game, heavy points game when it comes to the Bills side of the ball. I would love to have a piece of that, but how much of that is really going to be Shakir? Shakir. I don't know. I mean, right now, Saints are. Let's look at their numbers real quick. Waiting for my stuff to load. Saints are currently 22nd against wide receivers this year, fantasy points wise. I just like Godwin a little bit better with this selection of of people that you're picking from. Godwin, they said he'll be heavily involved in this game. Dobbs is the safe option for sure. Really? That's interesting. I haven't looked back at his I haven't looked that far back, and I only believe some historical stuff here and there, but teams change all the time, schemes change all the time. Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, if that's the case and you feel comfortable with it, go for it. The only argument that I have against Godwin is just the injury. I said it before when we were talking about Godwin. His injury is significant coming back from. He had I think at least one setback that kind of pushed everything back to now. The re-aggravation rate for a wide receiver is tough, especially for the ankle. On top of all of that, the game, this is going to be a tougher game. They're going to be behind. They have right now, Vegas has Philly favored by 3.5, 44 point over under. They did say they're going to get him involved. He is starting in the game. These are all positive signs. Will he be as effective as he used to be? I don't know. I can't give you that answer. But will he be a solid floor play? Yeah. Dobbs is in the same boat. They're both solid floor plays. Dallas is really bad against wide receivers. At this point, it's one of those games that it could be a heavy run game, but they'll try to get the ball in. They're going to try to get the ball in Dobbins' hands. I know they've been trying to get Golden a little bit more involved. Kraft is simply just very involved. I don't mind these two as your two options, to be quite honest. And then Kyle says, and just based off this year, Shakir needs that TD to have any relevance. You're 100% correct. The offense is more of a run-based scheme that they are able to get. They're able to once in a while have it where it works out for Josh Allen and being a with the play action here and there. He hasn't really done anything that has made me excited to want to play him in any way, shape, or form. Let me look at some real quick. Last few weeks for him, it's 9-2-4. So he's situational based. If he's getting 9 targets, and that was against Baltimore, which is a much better opponent. He got 2 and 4 against what? They were the Dolphins and Jets. So yeah, he's got the 1 touchdown. I feel a lot better about Dobbins and Godwin. Godwin is more of a just if anything, he's just he's coming back. They debut, whenever they debut, they always try to get the guy the ball a little bit to try to get his chops back from being out for a minute. So I do like the two that you're looking at right now. No problem, man. It's all good. I knew you meant I knew what you meant. It's all good. Yeah, I think they're going to feed him early. I mean, I stat line for him that I could reasonably think. 8 targets, 5 catches, 50 some odd yards. Like that's my guess. So here's the thing. I don't know if their best coverage guy is going to be on Mbuka. I think they might put Mitchell on Godwin. But I think with Tristan Wirfs back, yeah, I was just going to say all their stuff is pretty similar. So they're not really a big shadow team. They're not one to like just shadow with Mitchell. They have a really good defensive front. That's their key to, that's what they're known for. Bucks have had a rough line. They lost 2 guys early. They had Tristan Wirfs out. They got Tristan Wirfs back. Pass rush might still be there, and Baker's going to have to get it out quick. But agree, their secondary hasn't been doing that great lately. Let's look at the numbers. They are currently 14th against wide receivers. That's not a horrible number, but they are ranked 88th, out of 100. So, I mean, 88 out of 100 is pretty high. So, but at the same time, if you're 14th and you're that high, there's that means you're not that good. Vikings are going to have their numbers thrown around a little bit because they're 86th rank and out of 100. So yeah, it's just one of those things, man, that it's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. It just means you can pass on the Eagles. They're going to be down based on if you're going on narrative in this case, they're underdogged by 3.5. 44-point over-under, which is a pretty even-keeled game. That means, a solid 21 points per team, roughly, or more in this case, 22 each, whatever. But, I'm going to go 21 because, so at this point, anywhere between a 24-21 game, is what they're kind of going with. And that could mean points for, other guys like Godwin, who can be heavily involved at one point or another. I'm pretty good with those two moving forward. I had to play Dobbs in one league. I'm not really, it's more of a floor play. I played Addison and him just because that team's garbage. I have a lot of teams that I think I do very well with, and I manage well. That team, unfortunately, my draft was good. My results have not been. I have a little bit of a hubris with that, and I have a lot of good teams that I drafted. This one was I thought I was going to do well. I had Burrow, he fell out. I had a lot of injuries. I have Neighbors and a few other guys that just haven't been doing what they had to do. I had Addison late, picked him up as a, hopefully being a wide receiver 2 leading forward. And just all my other guys haven't really fallen into place yet. So, Penix hasn't helped me out in that team. I've been really trying to figure out what to do next. 3-0 in that league, but all my other leagues, I'm pretty much either 2-1 or 3-0, and a couple 1-2s. So hopefully, they can get better. Steelers the Vikings are getting the ball back. They just got a first down coming back from a kickoff. Steelers ended up kicking a field goal with their particular drive. Looks like the Vikings are going down the field a little bit. They're trying to do a hurry up, trying to get everybody moving. Quick passes, and just got one to Hawk. Cam Hayward does not look good right now. Oh boy, hope he's all right. They didn't go back to him. Yeah, he just does not look all right. Maybe he just fell and just wanted to lay on the ground for a minute. I don't blame him. Yeah, weird. They had Justin Jefferson going in the beginning, 8 for 8 and 97 yards. They haven't passed to him once in the second half. They haven't been able to get the ball to him. It's been real rough for them. Yeah, they're going to take Cameron out because, he definitely fell straight down, and he just, they got to take him out for at least the play. He'll probably go through concussion protocol. He says he's fine, but, you never know with those things. When you're laying on the ground for a minute, there's a reason. All right, boys and girls, make sure you guys throw those questions in the chat if you have any. I'm here for you guys, so if there's any questions, throw them in. I'm going to wrap this thing up in a few minutes so I can catch the tail end of this game and be able to, have a fun football Sunday on my week, for week 4. Make sure you guys, like I said, if you haven't already, big catch by Jefferson, finally getting them down the middle. Good for them. Good 18-yard catch. Make sure you guys are checking out our affiliate podcast. Like I said, the Extra Point with Phil, as well as the Fantasy Football Tavern with Kendall, as well as our Sweet Life podcast with Cody and Zach. Also, make sure you guys are checking out Underdog Fantasy using the promo code GETRIGHT. They will make sure that you guys will get a play 5, get 50 when it comes to pick 'em. So make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, make sure you guys check us out tomorrow night. We will have our waiver wire show with Frank. He will be there helping you guys getting your waiver wire ads and going over some of the overreactions from the week. Carson Wentz does not look good right now. Looks very hurt. Looks like his ribs. That's going to be tough. They're going to be in England for the next couple of days. They do get a bye week after that. They're going to be going from here to London next week. So they're going to have 2 games out in good old United Kingdom. So good for them. Let's see what happens here. Big throw. Nope. Underneath. Hawk. Oop. Hawk got the first down. Nice. On the 22-yard line right now. 23 maybe. Right outside the red zone. So yeah, check those guys out. Make sure you guys are subscribing if you haven't already. Make sure you guys hit that like button. For those that are watching right now, make sure you guys are keeping that algorithm up. Of course, you went Jordan Battle. You pain in my ass. Ugh, one of my favorite people to go against. I have one guy in my league that I play every year that he always plays me tough. This is the one year his team is not going to play me tough. I'm currently beating him 34-0, so it's going to be a rough road for him. Actually, it might be more now that the touchdown happened. That was the last time I checked. What is it? Yeah, 34-0 with 2 guys already gone, and he's projected at 100. I'm at 141. So it's going to be a long day for him. Sorry, Sully. Hope it works out overall. Always enjoy playing Sully every week or any week. Having a rough time in the end zone. I'm going to stay with you guys until they finish this drive, and then I'm going to head out. So make sure you guys throw those comments in if you have any questions. Make sure you guys, like I said, are liking and subscribing to the show if you haven't already. And make sure you guys are throwing those comments in, telling us how good of a job we're doing, if we're doing a good job. I want to make sure that you guys, we want to push this channel as much as possible, find more people. Always enjoy having more here as a group. So hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday morning. Beautiful day out here on Long Island. Enjoying the beautiful weather, hopefully a little bit later. Keeping the screen doors open and just enjoy the nice atmosphere. We got 3rd and 4. Oh, what a catch. Did he get it? Did they give it to him? I don't know, man. I don't know. They're giving him the touchdown. Xavier Scott. Or Xavier Scott. They're running back. Oh, I don't know, man. We got to look at those feet. Oh, that angle's not. That angle looks like it's good. Let's see this angle. Oh, wow. Wow. Good catch. What a catch. I think he got it. Yep, he got it. Wow. Great catch. Xavier Scott, man. Really good catch. Going for 2. Oh, Calvin Austin is in the tunnel going to an ambulance with the shoulder sling. And did they get it? Jalen Naylor for 2. So 24-14 for 24 Steelers, 14 Vikings. Calvin Austin just loaded into an ambulance in the tunnel with a shoulder injury. His shoulder was in a sling, so that's upsetting. Hopefully, he gets better. 24-14. That is the current score. I'm going to wrap things up. Hope everybody has a wonderful week 4. We will see you guys on Monday. Like I said, with Frank. I will be back here on Friday for our start sit show. And check us out. Continue to, like and subscribe to the show. We'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful week 4, unless you're against me. I'll see you guys later.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking nothing but I tune every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go